I'm Isayvani Naicker. I work with the International Resources Division. So we're all from the International Division at the Department of Science and Technology. So that you get it right. We're not from the Presidency, Department of Science and Technology. And what we do is we work across the department where we have 3 different programs: research, development, support, technology, innovation, and socioeconomic partnerships, where we give them support in terms of our engagement, both with multilateral, in the case of the multilateral division, but from my perspective, from international, in terms of international exchange, leveraging resources for the national system of innovation. But also as a department, as you know, the DST is also cross-cutting. So we as a program are cross-cutting, and then the DST is cross-cutting, because then we work with across the government departments to look at how we support them with science, technology, and innovation in order to deliver on the mandate of each department, whether it be Department of Energy, Department of Health, Department of Environment, Water Affairs, etc. Because science, technology, and innovation are enablers through the entire system. And in order to do that, we work through the entities that report to us, including the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Human Sciences Researchers Council, National Research Foundation, and others. And the National System of Innovation then consists of all of the organizations that are undertaking, because we don't do the science, technology, and innovation. We are supportive and enabling for the system to happen. So from a perspective of the SDGs, I think people here are very clear about what the SDGs are. There's 17 goals. From a Department of Science and Technology perspective, across all of the 17 goals, we have a role to play. But from the International Cooperation and Resources, Goal 17, about enabling partnerships to undertake the goals, is one of our main focus as the international division within the DST. So within, oh no, sorry. Okay, yeah, it's that one. So I just wanted to, okay. So I think to start off, it would be really important for us to just revisit what the vision of the Department of Science and Technology is. Yes? Oh, okay. But I'll leave that there, because I will be scrolling through the presentation and then, yeah. And so the department vision is to, oh, okay, sorry. I thought I spoke loud enough. Is to create a prosperous society that derives enduring and equitable benefits from science, technology, and innovation. And what we do then is we develop, coordinate, manage a national system of innovation, which comprises of these organizations that I've just been mentioning, that will bring about maximum human capital, sustainable economic growth, and improved quality of life for all. So you can see that very much what the National Development Plan is outlining and wanting to do, and what then at a national level and at a global level, what the Sustainable Development Goals are trying to do, is very much part of what the mission of the Department of Science and Technology is. I think I'm going to call it the Department of Science, Technology, Innovation. So this is just a schematic to show how the we attempt to achieve this intended impact. It's through knowledge generation, knowledge exploitation, using science, technology, and innovation for decision support to government, what is now commonly referred to as science-based, science-informed, or evidence-based policy making, and looking at how we also then recognizing that increasingly that technology is not just emanating from universities, but also through small to medium enterprises, but also large enterprises. We also have a range of instruments and mechanisms where we support them, including, for example, the research and development, tax incentives, technology station. We work with sustainable livelihoods projects, tech localization, etc. And in terms of knowledge exploitation, we work with specific programs, and I think the gentleman from Northwest University mentioned one of one of such, the Ketlapela, which was an attempt by the DST to work with the private sector with pharmaceuticals. So it's various such initiatives where it's either the private sector, the public sector working with other government departments, or the public sector working with international partners, which we try to leverage, but then also us working with the local and the international private sector. But then to come back to this, to the SDGs, what I want to just give a brief background. I don't want to make this presentation about what the DST does, but it's important for you to have that background. So what we do through the international unit is that we participate within the international fora where the SDGs are discussed. And what specifically, obviously the presidency, DIRCO are involved in more of the multilateral and foreign policy aspects, but when it comes to science, technology, and innovation, that is where we engage. So, I mean, it was outlined that the SDGs are well articulated in the National Development Plan, and we were in our engagement with the Department of Performance Monitoring and Evaluation. There have been various attempts, well, not being, they are in the process of mapping more closely the NDP goals to the Sustainable Development Goals. And that's in process. It hasn't been undertaken at a very high level. Stats SA has undertaken a very preliminary mapping, but the department itself is in the process of doing that. But also in terms of the SDGs, there's various, the presidency, the Department of Performance Monitoring and Evaluation, Stats SA are leading the engagement from a whole government perspective. And then you also, you know, we discussed, you discussed briefly that the SDGs are also aligned to the African Union's Agenda 2063, and it's providing what is hopefully a smooth transition from the Millennium Development Goals. But what's key, and that's why the presidency is working with performance monitoring and evaluation, and the Stats SA, is that monitoring implementation is going to be important, because with the SDGs, what was really possibly one of the weaknesses is what was the reporting. So even though there might have been a lot of activities across department trying to coordinate that, because it's not one government department that is responsible for that. It's across departments, but it's not even just government. It's philanthropy, it's a private sector, it's civil society that was implementing the MDGs and that are going to be implementing the SDGs. So what is going to be important is how do you then coordinate what is being done and then report that more effectively to the international system. And this is what the presidency is coordinating through DPME.